This is Joshua Farnsworth. Welcome to my traditional woodworking school. In this video, handplane expert Bill Anderson will show you what to look for before you buy your first vintage or new shoulder plane for hand tool woodworking.
The next group of planes we're going to talk about are shoulder planes. And shoulder planes are just another form of a rabbet plane. And you can see here a rabbet plane having an iron all the way across the width of the sole. Shoulder planes are exactly the same. No fence, no nicker. So they're really just a more refined version of a rabbet plane, you might say. And they come in a variety of sizes and styles here and are suited for different purposes. So the thing to look for, the thing that characterizes a shoulder plane is one, a very low bed angle here. And the iron typically is sharpened at a very low angle as well, so that they have a low cutting angle. So they're meant for cutting, making a finer shaving. They have a very narrow mouth, another characteristic of a plane meant for fine shavings. And maybe most importantly of all, the sides and the sole are square to each other, so the plane is machined or ground to be able to cut a square surface next to an adjacent surface like that. So really, shoulder planes are designed for any operation where you want to clean up an existing rabbet that may have been cut rough and you want to fine tune it, or for example, clean up the shoulder of a tenon where you've sawn the tenon cheeks and you want the shoulder to be sharp and square. Shoulder planes would be a plane designed for those purposes. So looking here at this variety of planes here, this is the simplest style of plane. It's just an infill plane. It's what I consider to be the handiest shoulder plane that I have in my collection of planes, and that's simply because I'm never going to cut a shoulder taller than this, or a groove, for the most part, narrower than this. So it's perfectly designed for cleaning out grooves, cleaning up shoulders on tenons and so on and so forth, and it fits easily in my hand. So I like that plane there. This is a Scottish infill type shoulder plane, ground square. As I said, it has all the characteristics. It also has a strike button right here, allows you to pop the wedge out. Striking it here with mallet, wedge will come out so you can take the iron out. One thing you're going to notice about these planes here, there is no lateral adjust, there's no screw advance on the plane, it's all manual adjust. So they need to be tweaked very carefully to do the job that they need to do. As time went on, they made some improvements in the concept of shoulder planes, and there are a number of companies that made this style here. So here's a shoulder plane. It's got, again, a low angle bed and so on and so forth, all the characteristics, but it's got a screw adjust. The iron is just as wide as the sole, and that's the case of all shoulder planes, just a wide or a tad wider than the sole, but there is no room for lateral adjust. So the irons need to be ground square to the axis of the iron here in order to have even exposure on the sole right there. Another characteristic of these planes, this record and this Lie-Nielsen here, is the mouth can be open and closed. You can loosen the mouth right there with this screw here, and then this screw here allows you to pull the mouth open or push it closed to narrow this up for the finest of shavings.
Hey, I hope you're enjoying watching our video so far, and I just want to take a few seconds to let you know about our traditional woodworking store, which you can visit while taking a class or by visiting our website at woodandshop.com/store. You'll find our amazing products to help you grow in traditional hand tool woodworking, including in-person and video woodworking classes, woodworking hand tools and workbenches, woodworking plans, traditional wood finishes, shirts and hats, and cool hand tool woodworking gifts for you or your loved ones. Okay, back to the show.
And of course, the The equivalent of the cap iron on this is this little foot that sits down and rests right on the iron, like so, and fits in a slot, and the screw here allows you to raise up the handle and therefore push down on this cap iron, so to speak, to hold the iron tightly in place. So that's a version. And these typically came in a variety of sizes. This is the largest size, and there are a couple sizes smaller than this that all serve the same function, but maybe one was easier to hold than the other depending on the task at hand. The last sort of plane I wanted to show you here, shoulder plane, is a series that Stanley made. These are called cabinet rabbet planes, and they made a series in the number 90s, 90, 91, 92, and I'm not sure if it was 93 or not, but all these planes are shoulder planes. They're square. The iron is right up here at the very front of the plane, and the nice feature about this is that the nose of the plane can be taken off so that the plane can be used as a bullnose plane. In other words, it can plane a rabbet or a groove right up into the corner of a frame or something like that, rather than having to chisel that by hand. So that's sort of an advantage. The different Stanley planes were just longer, I think. The 93 was the longest and the 90 was the shortest. So this is the variety of shoulder planes. As I said, they're meant to be square to each other, so that's probably the thing that you need to look for most carefully is, one, is this sole square to the cheeks? And if it wasn't square, I might seriously reconsider purchasing that plane. You could grind down this sole and you could flatten the cheeks and get it square again. It would be a lot of metal cutting effort. So maybe on a smaller plane you could do that just a little bit easier, and that might work. The other thing is, how long is the iron? These planes are meant to be cut square to the corner, therefore they're often reground many times in order to keep the corners sharp and square here. So typically you find these planes with the irons well ground back, and they may be ground back so far that the iron is no longer functional. So you need to look carefully at that when you're looking at one of these planes. How long is the iron? You can sometimes find replacements, but it's not that easy. Record and Lee Nielsen make replacement irons, so no problem to get replacements there. And they're pretty much interchangeable, I think. I think this plane was based on the Record. So that's the thing to look for, is squareness and flatness of the sole. Is the iron still of a usable length, and is it wide enough to be useful in this plane here? In other words, projecting on each side of the sole. If I was going to make a suggestion about the best plane to start off with, if I was using the plane to clean up rabbets, I might look for a relatively small plane like this. If I was using a shoulder plane to block out a molding, definitely a small plane like this. If instead I was using the shoulder plane to clean up the cheeks on tenons, for example, I might use a wider plane here. So I think if you check out the Lee Nielsen planes there, they have I think 4 sizes of planes between this smallest and this largest. And one of the medium sizes I think would be easy to handle and would do a wide variety of work.
If you're interested in learning traditional woodworking, come take a class at our school in Earlysville, Virginia. You can also visit our website at woodandshop.com, where you'll find a bunch of free woodworking lessons, workshop tours, and our very popular tool buying guides. And make sure you subscribe to our free newsletter to get our latest articles and videos. Enjoy!